On News Now, mixed reactions trail President Buhari's medical trip to the United Kingdom. Federal government establishes links between kidnapping for ransom, banditry, and Boko Haram sponsorship. President Vladimir Putin accuses Ukraine of provoking armed confrontation with pro-Russian separatists. And in business, Nigerian Export-Import Bank partners with African Export-Import Bank to mobilize $50 million for SMEs in Nigeria. Thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Michael Nath. Now we'll begin the news with the latest development on President Muhammadu Buhari's trip to the United Kingdom. The president, who is scheduled to undergo routine medical checkup, has landed safely in London. A video posted by his new media aide, Bashir Ahmed, showed Buhari stepping out of the presidential jet. President Buhari is expected to spend at least 2 weeks in the United Kingdom. Meanwhile, mixed reactions have continued to trail President Muhammadu Buhari's routine medical trip to the United Kingdom. A group of Nigerians, while speaking with iBrandTV, expressed their displeasure and queried why the president should seek medical help in the United Kingdom.
Health in Nigeria is already affected, as in the hospital, everything, the doctors, they are not enjoying themselves. And he himself wants to go to abroad because he was unable to fix what he needs to do in Nigeria. And he went abroad to go and do what? To go and do medical checkup. It's a failure on his part and it's a failure on his government.
My own view about Buhari going for medical treatment and governors, doctors planning to go on strike. As far as I'm concerned, Buhari going for medical treatment, to me, it is uncalled for. That is, if our health system are in place, if we have good facilities, health facilities, there is no need.
I think what I feel by the president traveling out of the country for medical checkup, why we have nice hospitals here in Nigeria and the doctors are about to go on strike, that shows that the country is not working. The country called Nigeria is not working. This is not moving. How can a president of a country leave the country for outside to travel and go and do medical checkup, where we have hospitals here, even better hospitals, and the doctors are about to go on strike? Nobody's taking this. That shows that the country is not working.
Ordinarily, you say that doctors who are supposed to save life should not go on strike, because that is what their oath says, to save life. But I heard that those who crafted that oath never thought that there will be a country called Nigeria where leaders are beasts, are political bandits that don't care about anybody, don't care about life. So in that wise, that oath that doctors sworn to has been made useless and meaningless, where you subject it to social, economic, and political disorder in Nigeria, where leaders don't think of anybody.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is currently presiding over the weekly meeting of the Federal Executive Council at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Thus coming as President Muhammadu Buhari is currently in London, where he is scheduled to undergo routine medical checkup. We'll bring you details of this meeting in our subsequent bulletins. Now, the presidency has said it has yet to transmit the supplementary budget for 2021 to the National Assembly. The senior special assistant to the president on National Assembly matters, House of Representatives Umar El Yakub, made this known Tuesday. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, had earlier on February 25, 2021, said the federal government will prepare a supplementary budget to be sent to the National Assembly to cater for COVID-19 vaccines and vaccination. Ahmed, while speaking at the maiden edition of State House briefing held at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, has said the fiscal document will be prepared in March. The federal government says it has made a discovery of the sponsors of Boko Haram and bandits. It restated the claim that a link between the kidnapping for ransom, banditry and Boko Haram sponsorship had been established. These sponsors include some Bureau de Change operators with contacts abroad. Senior Special Assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari, Malam Garba Shehu, said there is evidence that money is being sent from the United Arab Emirates, UAE, to Boko Haram leaders. It confirmed that the statement by Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, that Boko Haram sponsors are behind banditry and kidnapping is a product of intelligence gathering. He said many people have been arrested and that investigation, those involved, would be exposed. He warned that there would be no sacred cows if those involved were found to be politicians. Now, at least 15 people were killed on Monday evening when gunmen attacked 4 villages in Ebonyi State. The attack took place in Umuhuala, Nkalaha, Obago, Nkalago, and Amazu in Ishelu local government area of the southeast state, further raising concerns about the country's security. Eyewitnesses say the gunmen were shooting sporadically, killing the victims in different areas of the communities. They equally set ablaze motorcycles belonging to residents of the affected communities. Governor David Umahi had also visited the affected communities and condemned the attack by the suspected AK-47 wielding gunmen. While expressing sadness over the incident, the Ebonyi State Governor assured the people that the government will do all within its power to bring the perpetrators to justice. He also called on security operatives to help in fishing out those behind the heinous crime. Now, in recent times, the clamor for restructuring has been at the forefront of Nigeria, while some Nigerians are advocating political structure devolved from the center to the federating units. As against the current system, others feel Nigeria is better as one. Now, joining us in the studio to share in this perspective is political analysts in the name of Muhammad Kasim. Muhammad, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for some time now, Nigerians have been clamoring for restructuring, even though some people out there do not know what precisely does a restructuring mean. But let's leave that for now. Restructuring, does it hold all the answers we need for the myriad of problems Nigeria is facing right now, such as insecurity and corruption and what have you?
Thank you, Mr. This is a very important question to be addressed. The truth of the matter is that agitation for restructuring is coming vis-a-vis with agitations for constitutional review. You see, the fact remains that the political class needs to be up and doing. Most of the issues we are having in this country borders on our legislators to the executive in the execution and driving the process. And I will not say they failed those in totality. I mean the political class. But I am sorry. We are not there at all. People need to be up to their games. Restructuring people are clamoring for may not probably be the best or the final solution. But as it is, we have a lot of issues. The Constitution itself is highly contradictory. Here a statement is made, in the other place the statement nullifies what has been said behind. And the political class are the ones that are enjoying this kind of issues in the Constitution. And that is why, for whatever kind of agitations you guys will make, want restructuring, want this, it's not going to go down well with them because they are benefiting from all these mishaps. You talk about the president today going out of the country for medical reasons. I mean, ordinarily, my dear brother, How many African presidents that are ill have come to Nigeria for any purpose before? Except in our own case, our own issues, even if it is Qatar, the person is there looking for medical assistance in UK, India, elsewhere. It is not proper. We should believe in ourselves and our systems. The drivers of the system should make it work. If you get my point very clearly, restructuring is part of the agitations. Okay. And I believe if truly the political class and the executives are listening to us, they need to do something about the situation in this country. Insecurity everywhere. Look at the report now that just came in from, what state is that in the eastern part? Where we have security agents, we have intelligence agents and the rest of it, and such a heinous act will go and be meted on people. I mean, it's unfortunate.
Okay, now you've mentioned how important restructuring is in addressing the numerous issues we have in this country. The question now should be, why is this restructuring everybody has been clamoring for is being delayed or played down by successive governments?
That's just what I've just mentioned. You see, the political class is enjoying a lot of
they are benefiting
from it. You understand?
Could that be the only reason?
It's part of the reason is the major reason. You understand? Because now today we're talking about restructuring. Some people that have this opportunity of representing you in Abuja might not be there again. They want to remain in power. People want to still be in position. So why should they, or rather, why would they allow you and me to bring them down? That is the statement to them. When you say restructuring, you want to bring them down. And truly speaking, something needs to be done about this. I mean, people have started feeling so disappointed about governance in Nigeria. Everybody is clamoring for cessation, separation, this and that. Part of the issue is, if the country will be restructured, at least the project Nigeria will still remain. People will have some level of belief to it. So definitely, I think we need to restructure this country. People need to be up and doing, and I just pray we get it right.
Okay, now the issue of insecurity has been there, and the efforts being put in to address this issue doesn't seem to be yielding any positive results. What measures should the federal government take that have not been taken in order to address this insecurity, especially the crisis between herders and farmers?
Okay. You see, the crisis between herders and farmers is just one out of it. We've had so many issues. Let me digress a bit to that of the Boko Haram.
Okay.
When this issue started, so many of us advised the government then that look for this person who started using these boys initially against his political opponents in Borno, that is in Maiduguri, Alimadu Sharif, the former governor of Borno State. Then they were calling the boys, they have a name for them, they are like thugs. They were given ammunitions and other equipment to work against their political opponents. Now when he now left government, those guys were left with guns. They were left with ammunitions. Nobody to control them again. And the money they were getting from the government now is not forthcoming. They now started unleashing terror on the people of Maiduguri. It was like a joke. The issue started and nobody cares. So it's unfortunate, I said it here, to all our northern leaders, that they allow this issue to degenerate to the extent at which it is today. It's quite unfortunate. But I believe the situation could still be redeemed if we are very serious about it. One of it is this. During the time of former President Goodluck Jonathan, it was a very big scam, a very big scandal, that monies that were meant for acquiring weapons were being taken away by some people.
Yeah, and shared.
And shared. And today, almost the same thing is happening. Of course, we've not gotten to the roots of this one, but it's part of what we are saying now. If now, I mean, somebody will be playing politics with the life of Nigerians, I mean, is unfortunate.
Thank you very much there, Mohammed
so
Kassim. Thanks for your thoughts. We hope you will be around again next time we call you.
Thank you so much.
To give us more of your powerful thoughts.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're still watching news now on iBrandTV. Now, the rest of the news. The trial of the embattled leader of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, and his wife, Zinat, resumes today at Kaduna State High Court, sitting in the state capital. El-Zakzaky and his wife are standing trial on 8-count charge bordering on alleged culpable homicide, unlawful assembly, and disruption of public peace, among others. On September 29, 2020, the IMN leader and his wife pleaded not guilty with the charges read to them. The case was being adjourned on March the 8th, 2021 by the presiding judge, Justice Gideon Kurada, after the prosecuting counsel, Chris Umar, presented 14 witnesses who testified against the IMN leader. Among the witnesses include 2 army officers, a retired director of State Security Service, police officers, and a medical director who testified before the court. Frantic efforts were being made last night to avert a disruption of the health sector by members of the National Association of Resident Doctors, NOD, who have scheduled a nationwide strike to begin tomorrow. The 60-day ultimatum served by NOD to press home its demands expires today. The doctors listed 4 demands that must be met by the federal government to shelve their planned action. NOD President Uyilawa Okwai Hisuye confirmed slated meetings with Labour and Employment Minister Chris Ngige and the Senate Committee on Health. The doctors also demanded the issuance of vouchers to the families and loved ones of doctors who lost their lives in service, especially those on the front line of the battle against the COVID-19 pandemic and other infectious diseases. According to the director, the listed conditions are considered prime among other demands. Now, the Labour Employment Minister also confirmed today's meeting with NOD's leadership at his ministry's conference room. Ngige said his team would hold a separate meeting with the Federal Minister of Health and the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria before the meeting with NOD. The resident doctors resolved to commence a total and indefinite strike by 8 a.m. on April the 1st if the government failed to accede to its demands. The Lagos state government on Tuesday said it will soon begin the audit of forests estates in the state to source them against intruders as well as mitigate the effects of climate change. The State Commissioner for Agriculture, Abishola Olusanya, said this at a press briefing to commemorate the 2021 International Day of Forests. Olusanya, who said the audit would also enable the state government to ascertain what was left on in its forests and biological biodiversity, claim was worsening water stress, food vulnerability, desertification, increased global temperature, as well as putting thousands of communities at risk. She said climate change is a global threat and has to be factored into the forest food water equation. We'll now take a break. When we come back, we'll bring you more stories here on iBrandTV News Now. Stay with us.
Powerful looks command respect, they say. The perfect body, the perfect grooming, and ultimately the perfect skin. Looks, style, and grooming makes the ultimate man. I've found a ridiculously easy way to make my skin always feel epic. My name is Neo. I found Blemiviv, and now my skin finally makes sense.
Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, professional dry cleaners, best in dry cleaning and laundry services that meets the needs of our consumers. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Yeah. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Yeah, for clean wash and quick delivery. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. For clean wash and quick delivery.
Swift Dry Cleaners. Clean wash.
Powerful looks command respect, they say. The perfect body, the perfect grooming, and ultimately the perfect skin. Looks, style, and grooming makes the ultimate man. I've found a ridiculously easy way to make my skin always feel epic. My name is Neo. I found Blemiviv, and now my skin finally makes sense.
Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, professional dry cleaners, best in dry cleaning and laundry services that meets the needs of our consumers. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Yeah. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Yeah, for clean wash and quick delivery. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. For clean wash and quick delivery.
Swift Dry Cleaners.
You're watching News Now on iBrandTV. African News Now. A stampede at a Tanzanian stadium crushed 45 people to death as mourners paid last respects to late President John Magufuli, police said on Tuesday. Many times, more than the 5 fatalities initially announced after the disaster on March the 21st. Police in the port city of Dar es Salaam, where the stampede occurred, attributed some of the deaths to people being starved of oxygen at the event due to overcrowding. Police authorities said another 37 mourners were injured, adding that they had all been treated in hospital and discharged. Now, South Africa will allow religious gatherings of 250 people indoors and 500 outdoors over the Easter weekend. President Cyril Ramaphosa said on Tuesday congregants should not gather outside their usual places of worship and people must go home and not sleep over after services. Ramaphosa said during his address to the nation, the sale of alcohol for off-site consumption will be prohibited over the long weekend. He added. Foreign news now. President Vladimir Putin accused Ukraine of provoking armed confrontation with pro-Russian separatists and failing to honor earlier agreements over its war-torn east, the Kremlin said in a readout of a telephone call with France and Germany's leaders. The comments during a call late on Tuesday with French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Angela Merkel came shortly after Ukraine's commander-in-chief accused Russia of a military build-up near Ukraine's borders. The Ukrainian army chief also said that pro-Moscow separatists were systematically violating a ceasefire in the conflict in East Ukraine. Tensions have flared in a conflict that has killed 14,000 people since it erupted in 2014, according to Ukraine. President Joe Biden on Wednesday will call for a dramatic and more permanent shift in the direction of the U.S. economy with a roughly $2 trillion package to invest in traditional projects like roads and bridges, alongside tackling climate change and boosting human services like elder care. He also aims to put corporate America on the hook for the tab, which is expected to grow to a combined $4 trillion once he rolls out the second part of his economic plan in April. Coupled with his recent enacted $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package, Biden's infrastructure initiative would give the federal government a bigger role in the U.S. economy than it has in the generations, accounting for 20% or more of annual output. President Joe Biden's vast infrastructure plan includes $174,000 billion to boost the markets for electric vehicles and billions more for renewable power, both provisions aimed at wearing the U.S. off of fossil fuels and combating climate change. The $2 trillion plan, which also seeks to invest in traditional projects like roads and bridges, is a centerpiece of the administration's ambitious agenda to decarbonize the U.S. economy by 2050 and restore the nation's leadership in addressing global warming. It also vows to spend $165 billion on public transit, Amtrak, and other rail projects, moves that could shift more Americans out of private cars and onto trains and transit systems. The plan still must be approved by Congress. We bring you business news now. The International Monetary Fund said on Wednesday it had released $174.2 million to South Sudan under its rapid credit facility to address urgent balance of payments needs after floods and an oil price shock hurt economic performance. In 2018, South Sudan ended 5 years of civil war that killed an estimated 400,000 people. But President Salva Kiir and Vice President Riek Machar's disagreements kept the peace process from being fully finalized. They repeatedly pushed back deadlines from government and national unity, but in 2020 finally did so. The pandemic-related oil price shock and devastating floods have led to an economic downturn. Sub-Saharan Africa is expected to post economic growth of 2.3% minus to 3.4% this year, the World Bank said in a new report on Wednesday, bouncing back from a pandemic-induced 2.0% contraction last year. Like other economies around the world, the region was forced to adopt strict lockdown measures in the first quarter of last year to try to curb the spread of the coronavirus, hitting key economic activities like tourism and trade. Diversified economies like Kenya and Ivory Coast, as well as mining-dependent ones like Botswana and Guinea, will grow robustly as rising confidence attracts investments, it said. Now, OPEC has lowered its 2021 oil demand growth forecast by 300,000 barrels per day, reflecting concerns about the market's recovery amid a wave of new coronavirus lockdowns, a report from its experts panel meeting seen in Reuters showed. The Joint Technical Committee, which advises the group of oil-producing nations that includes Saudi Arabia, Russia, met on Tuesday ahead of a ministerial meeting on Thursday to decide output policy. The Nigerian Export-Import Bank has announced its partnership with African Export-Import Bank to mobilize the sum of $50 million to support small and medium enterprises in Nigeria. Nexim announced on Tuesday in Abuja that the $50 million project preparation fund for Nigeria was for the provision of technical assistance to bankable SMEs, especially those promoted by women and youths. The bank's managing director, Abubakar Bello, disclosed this at the inauguration of Women and Youth Export Development Fund with a theme unlocking export market opportunities for women and youths. He said the fund was part of activities mapped out by both financial institutions to commemorate the 2021 International Women's Day, which was celebrated globally on March the 8th. The Nexim Bank boss said the project would increase women and youth participation in the global agro-export markets. We'll take another break at this juncture, after which we'll bring you sports. Stay with us.
Powerful looks command respect, they say. The perfect body, the perfect grooming, and ultimately the perfect skin. Looks, style, and grooming makes the ultimate man. I've found a ridiculously easy way to make my skin always feel epic. My name is Neo. I found Blemiviv, and now my skin finally makes sense. Powerful looks command respect, they say. The perfect body, the perfect grooming, and ultimately the perfect skin. Looks, style, and grooming makes the ultimate man. I've found a ridiculously easy way to make my skin always feel epic. My name is Neo. I found Blemiviv, and now my skin finally makes sense.
You're watching News Now on iBrandTV. Well, due to some technical hitches, we are unable to bring you the earlier promoted sports. But we promise to do justice to this in our subsequent bulletins. And that's it on News Now on iBrandTV. Thanks very much for watching. I am Michael Nath.